Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, or indeed welcome to the channel if this is your first time here. It's been a while. It's been quite a while actually since we've done an unboxing video, so I figured that today, since I'm off work as well, I'd do a 3-for-1 special featuring Lucifer from the Helltaker video game. We have Silksong Hornet, and it's a Spy X Family Your Forger crossover figure, so we've got that one. And we also have this, which is a larger one, obviously, we can get that on the screen there, which is a Nana OSAKI statue from the Nani manga / anime. And as is the usual process, we'll be cutting to the side camera for the unboxing itself. Though I think the Nana figure may be too large for the current setup, meaning some improvisation may be in order. Though, as I do have a new tripod, as we can see here, I may be able to just overcome that by lifting the tripod a little higher and angling it down. We'll work that out when we get to it. However, we will begin with the Lucifer figure, this one here. And full disclosure, my exposure to the video game is extremely limited, but I just love the design of the character. I was just looking for things on AliExpress. As you know, I get quite a lot of things from AliExpress. I wouldn't trust it for electronics or clothing, but for collectibles, I definitely would and do enjoy getting things from there. I also got this in the post yesterday, which is the hatchet from Resident Evil Requiem. It's a 3D printed replica, I'm trying to get it in the shot there, of Leon's hatchet from Resident Evil Requiem. I do have the Requiem pistol on the way as well, a replica of that. So that'll be here in about a week or so. However, I digress. We're going to start, as I said, with the Lucifer figure, so we're going to cut to the side camera and we'll get this unboxed, and then we'll cut back to the main camera just to see what our final thoughts and conclusions are. We'll then do that for the Silksong figure, and then we'll do that for the Nani figure, and then we'll just have a brief little recap of what we thought of them all at the end of the video, followed by the obligatory close-up shot and the turntable spinning video that I love to end these videos with. So without any further ado, side camera away. So here we are with the Helltaker figure in the box. As you can see here, this is the pose that she has. There's a close-up of the face there and other little inset shots, and a nice shot of her horse that you can't see. There we go. So let's just get it cracked open. Hopefully there's not too much in the way of ties or anything else. It's a nice little display box. I do like the boxes with the display windows. Means that if you wish, you can choose to display them boxed or unboxed, whatever your preference is. Looks like there's some decent bit of tape in there. I do have my scissors, so we will carefully cut through that. Hopefully not much in the way of tape there. Try not lacerate myself while I'm doing it, which I have done before. Okay, that's quite tightly in there, so we're probably doing a wee bit of editing here. Okay, there we go. Okay, hopefully I can just rip it up on that. Okay, there we go, the figure coming out. So there's a display stand, and there is the figure herself. So we'll put the detritus down there. So here's the display stand first of all, nice sturdy hexagon shape. Nothing on it to indicate that it is anything to do with the game, but it's a nice little hexagon, and hexagons are aesthetically pleasing. The figure itself, now do you want to put it in that way? Maybe a little too small. No, there we go. Okay, so she's in there now. Let me check the box, see if the box shows her. Okay, the box actually has her on a different display, as you can see there. But there she's on the display. We can get a nice close-up over here. It's nice detail in the face and the suit. The detailing on the clothing there, strength of the boots. It's a very powerful pose. Nice little logo, emblem, badge on the side there. The crown, everything about this is just a really, really, really nice figure. I really, really like that one. So that's that one unboxed. So we'll jump to the side and we'll get a little bit of a discussion on the main camera. Maybe be able to get some close-ups on the main camera as well. So there we go. If I can get that up close there, there's the Lucifer figure. So you can see, holding up, you can see it's roughly a 6-inch, 7-inch scale figure. Again, it's a really well designed figure. I really like the way this one looks. I love the detailing on the headdress here. The way the tail curls is really nice. The boots and the trouser suit. Really intricate detail. You can see in there. Again, we'll get some close-up pictures on the side camera a little later. But that is a really nice figure. I really, really like that one. We move on to the Silk Song figure. As you can see here, again, up close, there's the unmasked version, and if you turn it around, there's the masked version, so you can pose that however you wish to. Again, I think this is going to be roughly the same size, maybe a little taller, simply because the pose is more vertical. Lucifer's a little more bent over there. But we'll get to the side camera again, and we'll get this one cracked open and see what is inside. So here we go again. We've got another little, and again, it's a simple box. If we get it cracked open, pull the figure out. It's a much bigger stand, as you can see here. Again, careful with the opening. A, you don't want to damage the figure. And B, if I was using the scissors, which I didn't have to here, you don't want to cut yourself open. So this one, it's a plastic cape, but it does look like material. So it's a nice aesthetic there. It's got nice detailing in the fabric. Well, I say fabric, the fabric detailing. Molded separately from the figure, so it has that layered look, which I really do like with figures, whether it's proper clothing or whether it is fabric clothing. That goes in there, so you can pose her like this. If we maybe get a little bit, so you can pose her like that without any additional material, any additional accessories. But she does come with a number of accessories, so we'll crack these open again carefully. So first thing she comes with is the Hollow Knight sword, but done in the style of your forger. So that, I would imagine, goes in here, and it looks like it's done in the style of, pop it in there. So if we have a look at the box again, so in the box it goes behind her, which is what it looks like it's doing there. So it looks like it's a very simple thing of popping that together. Okay, that went in really well. Really, really happy with that. We also have in this box here the little Your Forger weapon to scale this time, and that will just go in there. Just don't poke yourself in the face. And then on the last one we have the mask. I want to be able to take this out without breaking it as well, so we'll pop her back a little bit and we'll cut this open. So I don't know if this, I'm assuming, I don't think the head comes off. So yes, it's just a case of taking the hair off the front and then popping the masked hair on, and then you can get both styles. Now I think with this one, I do prefer it with the mask simply because the crossover thing, but again, you do get the choice of how you personally wish to display this figure. Now obviously with it being a crossover and with it being from Japan, Sometimes they do get a little more risque. But the way the figure looks, if we bring in close, the design on the well, what would be leather, really nice shine, really smooth. Sometimes with these figures, you'll get them, and the practicality of it is the material can, well, I'm not saying the material, but the finish can be rough and it destroys any aesthetic this has. This is really smooth, really shiny. Again, I said the cape has a nice fabric look to it. The weapon goes in nicely and it's nice and sturdy. And the mask and obviously the open cleavage adds a little bit of a sex appeal to it. That is another one that I'm really, really happy with. So again, with these, we will get close-ups later. At the end of the video, there'll be close-up images. There'll be the turntable section, which again, I've had comments from people on social media who say that they do like that aspect of the video, so I'm quite happy to keep that going. But we're going to cut here back to the main screen, the main camera, just to get some final thoughts on this one before we come back for the biggest piece and what I think is going to be my favourite piece of the three today. And there we have it. There is the Spy X Family, Your Forge, Your Silk Song Hornet crossover figure. As we can see here, it is actually quite a good bit larger than the Lucifer one. If we bring them both into shot, if I can remember which way is left and right. So this one's closer to maybe 11, maybe even 12 inches, including the horns on the mask. Again, it's really detailed. If you can get a look, obviously, the sheen on the what would be the leather on the legs, the fabric on the cape there up close as well, and just the way the weapon and just the way this is posed. This is a real power pose. As I say, obviously, yeah, with the open cleavage, the cut to the belly button, aesthetic. It's obviously designed as some fan service and some sex appeal as well, but it's a really powerful stance. It's a really powerful pose for this figure, and again, I love the fact that yeah, you can have it with or without the mask. If you have a look, if I can get it close there, you can see the mask sitting just in front of her face. It's a really, really nice figure as well. I really, really like that one. And that leaves us with one final figure to deal with, which is the Nana figure. Now, this is a 1/8 scale. If you have a look on the box, it says it's a Tigger, not a figure. That shot when I was browsing is what convinced me to get it. I do have bought previously, before I even knew what Nana was. I've had a few of them now, it's acrylic standees, and I got a Nana set. So it was 3 characters from Nana, including obviously Nana herself. And that was a lot of fun. I really liked them. So then I saw this figure and I thought, this looks absolutely fantastic. So again, I got it from AliExpress. I'll have links in the description below for each of them, where I got them. And they were all reasonably priced. If I bring them up quickly, I'll just mention how much they were. So they were reasonably priced. The Nanny figure was £25.09. The Helltaker figure was £14.49. And the Hollow Knight figure was only £11.69. Which, again, is an absolute bargain for what you're getting. Yeah, like I say, they're a lot of time they're unlicensed. Sometimes they are knockoffs as well. But with a lot of the figures, especially with the trusted sellers, the aesthetics there. And if you're not a purist, if you're not in it for the brand name stuff, then AliExpress is a fantastic place to get figures like this. So we're going to get this onto the side camera as well. As I say, I may have to adjust the height on it simply because the figure itself is a 1/8 scale. So we'll get this one open on the side camera, then we'll just, as we discuss it while we're opening it, we'll then cut back to the main camera for a final discussion or final thoughts before we call it a day. Okay, so as we thought, the figure itself is too big to be in frame. I can pull the camera out a little bit. We'll see how that goes. But it does limit how close I can get to it. So we'll just walk around it. Let's have a look. Okay, so here we have the Nana figure. If I turn around, that's ostensibly what it's going to look like. So we're just going to get this one cracked open as well. It's as I say, it's a larger box, so it does kind of fit off screen a little bit. But I think we can get it open, and we'll see what it looks like once it's out of the box. Again, we want to be careful pulling this out because there can be elements to these figures where there are parts of them that are loose or relatively fragile, and you don't want to grab at them, because if you grab at them, that's where you start scuffing things or you start breaking things off accidentally. So again, we want to be careful when we're opening this one. Pull it apart nice and gently. Okay, so there's a piece there. There's the figure. There's the stand. I think that's everything. Yeah. Okay, so that's in there now. So that's the stand that she's on. We tilt this down just a little bit. You can see there, that's where her feet will go. So here's the nanny figure itself in a very defiant punk pose. Again, the material, none of it is actual fabric, but those shoes are killer. It really does look like fishnet. Again, because it's raised off the figure itself, like look at this. These little things here, like these little touches of it being like actual lace, well not lace, but you know, it's wrapped around the legs. It gives it that three-dimensional feel. The chain, the short skirt, the yellow jacket, just the yellow just hanging off. Nice little tattoo here. The hat, a little symbol on it. Okay. There we go. So she's now in, and there that'll go in. So there we have it. There's the nanny figure. And again, aesthetically, this is astounding. Again, the material stuff, everything about it is just fantastic. Like those chunky boots are amazing. The way it looks like real fishnet. The entire aesthetic of Nanny herself. This is another wonderful piece, and another one that's going to take pride of place on the shelving somewhere. I'm actually in the process of, I'll talk about this on the side in the main camera actually. But yeah, this figure, really nice, really appreciative of that one. I think it looks fantastic. And if we bring them all in, we can maybe get a nice little show of them all quickly, and then we'll cut to the side camera. So there we go. As you can see, the Silksong figure is actually the biggest one of them all there. So they go down on a nice little scale. So there you have it. There's all three, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. I'm really happy with how they appear, how the aesthetic that they have. We're going to cut back to the main camera now. We're going to talk about the nanny figure a little bit, then we're going to talk about the other ones, and then we'll draw a conclusion and we'll call it a day. So there's the nanny figure. We can get that up close as well. You can see there. Again, aesthetically, another astounding piece. I've really grown to appreciate the statue rather than the action figure. Don't get me wrong, I still love action figures. I still love when they have posability and articulation, but I've really grown to develop more of an appreciation of the statue, of the posed figure, for display purposes only. And this is an absolutely astounding one. Just to give a quick recap, here's the Silksong one, which I thought was fantastic as well. And the first one we opened, the Lucifer from Helltaker figure. Again, absolutely fantastic. Really, really happy with all three of them. Really, really happy with how they turned out. I hope you are too. I hope you've enjoyed this video. And yeah, so I'll find some. So I will be looking to find some spaces on the shelves. This is what I was going to talk about a little earlier. I've started shuffling things around a little bit because the shelves are full. It's one of those things, and I'm sure a lot of collectors can sympathise and empathise with this. I've no more room in the house. All the shelving is filled. I have no more room really for shelves. Josh has gone to uni, but we're keeping his room here as it was for whenever he pops in. So if that wasn't the case, I'd have another room that I could fill out. But obviously, it's Josh's room. It's up to him what goes in there. So what I've started doing is I've started moving things around to the point that the windowsills of the rooms that I don't frequent very often. So there's a number of windows in the lounge here. Behind this backdrop, there is a windowsill at the far end, and the window never gets used. So I've just packed that up with figures, and I'm going to do the same in the collectibles room, which will free up a good chunk of shelf space, which is where things like these are going to go. I have my eye on another couple of figures to complete there, to put in there. The Resident Evil Requiem hatchet and the Resident Evil Requiem revolver will go on that one of those shelves as well. So we'll always make room, and I'll also be looking at doing a giveaway. We've done giveaways before, we've done competitions before, where rather than just put my surplus figures or figures that I don't really have any affinity for anymore into storage or to a charity shop, I give them away to you guys. So I've done 3 competitions on the channel so far. So I'm looking to do a 4th one. I'm just working out what will constitute the collection that will be in that competition. I've got some unworn t-shirts that are going to be in there. There'll definitely be some figures in there. There may be some other pieces of collectible material as well. I'm also looking again something to display my collector coins. I've got like 30 collector coins, not the advent calendar DC coins that I've done previous videos on. These are like actual collector coins. So there's like Street Fighter, there's Streets of Rage, Jaws, the thing. There's so many of them. I just need somewhere to display them. And we're going to continue with the unboxings. We're going to be continuing with the movie reviews. But I also have a Twitch channel. I've started streaming on Twitch. I've just finished my 3rd week. And what I've been doing, I did a Requiem speedrun as my first Twitch stream. I forgot to put the VODs on demand, so the video on demand on. So never saved, that was gone. I've then done a tier ranking of the first 5 phases of the MCU movies. I've done Lost Records, Blooming Rage, fantastic game. I'm doing Cyberpunk. I'm also doing Resident Evil Village, which I've never played before, so I'm doing that in 3rd person. That is a Tuesday, Wednesday stream. On Thursday, I do a movie talk stream, with the next one coming up to be on horror movie sequels and why they should be encouraged. Friday, Saturday, Cyberpunk until those games are finished, and then I'll find something else to do. So if you can check out my Twitch channel, there'll be a link in the description for that as well. I would appreciate it. If not, completely understandable. If you could also give this video a like and a share, subscribe to the channel here, and if possible, get some friends to subscribe and check in also. But enough about the plugging, enough about the begging. I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to spend it here with me on this channel, on this video. Please leave your comments below on what you think of the figures that we've unboxed. Please let me know what you think of the 3 is your favourite, whether there's any figures you would recommend me taking a look at based on the aesthetic of these ones. Look out for more unboxings, look out for more reviews, look out for more reactions. But for now, again, I thank you for taking the time out of your day to spend it with me. I hope that you had a lovely weekend. I hope that the week brings you joy. I hope that you look after yourselves. I hope that you look after each other. And above all else, I hope that you stay safe and you stay awesome. Goodbye.